Well, it's been a good week since my demotion. My life situation has gotten slightly better, but way too much is still up in the air, so I don't have much to say about it right now. This video is my official response to my demotion from Minecraft Online's staff team. I do want to put out there that I have no ill will toward the staff team, and I actually hope that in time I can return to my position. So I have been demoted, and after being told why, I do have some comments to make about them. Ultimately, the admin's decision is their own, and I don't see a point in arguing with it. There are some of the reasons I personally have counter comments on though. When it ultimately boils down to is inactivity and some isolated incidents of rule breaking, specifically grief. Now, before everyone starts panicking, a lot of those have asterisks next to them, and that is what I want to explain here. Waffle is the admin who delivered the news to me, and thus I will be referencing his message to me. I have put up the entire thing and into an Imgur link because I want to be as transparent about everything as possible. When it comes to inactivity, he states that over the course of the last 8 months, he has seen me conduct probably only 10 G-checks. G-checks for the uneducated is the command staff used to investigate a grief alert, and all I really have to say is this is a very hyperbolic thing to say, and I think Waffle knows that. First off, I have obviously done way more than 10 G-checks, as I have conducted over 200 player notes within the last year alone. This includes bans, warnings, and info notes. Another thing I want to mention is that the last 5 months directly. Ever since 2016, it has been commonly known that I take an extended hiatus during the last couple months of the year. This isn't necessarily to get away from this Freedonia, but to actually work on my annual Christmas animation for the server. Going back to my live streams shows how much time I put into these, with almost equally as much time off screen, not even including rendering. When it comes to January and February, I basically was scrambling after my last semester as I was in a really rough position and was forced to leave my current university for the time being and start part-time in the local college in the city I'm currently living in. About halfway into January, I was brought to the attention about bed bugs in our home, which besides being a huge emotional and physical strain on us, just about everyone, really sucked a lot of the free time I had. And then we get back to February, where I have spent the better part of the month kicked out of my own home. I'm finally almost in a position to return to the server, and what do? I get demoted. I don't wish to complain, as I know the second half of these events was publicly unknown until recently, but I do feel it is unfair to call me out on inactivity during a time of year that has been known for 2 prior years is usually a dry spell for me being online, and then a personal life crisis. I do hope these things are looked at if I ever get reconsidered to become a staff again, but again, the admin decision is the admin decision. When it comes to the incidents of grief, I also have a little bit to say. Officially, the one incident that led to my demotion was a single diamond block that I broke in Days Town of explaining this before replacing it, and I have no defense to this. This is an honest instance of grief on my part, and I can understand my demotion for it. When it comes to some of the other instances that are discussed, such as me building out from the raised walkways when I made my Easter prank last year, I have to respond with this. And this. And this. Now, this is only a guess as I have no knowledge for sure, but I find it pretty damn hard to believe that these weren't made by bridging out from the raised walkway. If I am wrong, please let me know. Other things mentioned are the Azkaban hammer, which, while not being placed in a very good spot, I was expecting it to get removed. I don't actually recall touching any other structures. And the iron salami, which was touching the grass foundation of another build. Well, Waffle also mentions that I have to do my job in order to reap the benefits, and I have to ask, what benefits? I honestly have no benefits from being a moderator other than the ability to use /TP to get to players faster than sending a request. Bear in mind, the teleport still has to be agreed upon if it isn't staff related, and all other commands I have from donor ranks, and actually more than the normal moderator receives. What it really boils down to is me not meeting the standard they are beginning to set for moderators. There was talk about this in the staff Discord and branched out into an email, and I guess I'm the first to fall victim to it. My goal here on out is improving my performance and standing. Since my demotion, I have logged on at least once every single day. Truth be told, I want to help the server, and I want to prove that I can be entrusted with a staff position again. I've been on the team for 2.5 years, and I never resigned because I always felt like I had something to offer the server. If the admins see differently, I can only hope that in time I can change their minds. To reiterate, I have no ill will towards any of the staff team, including Waffle. I just want to express some counter arguments to some of the reasons brought up during my demotion and give my honest thoughts on the matter. In the meantime, I will be continuing to be an active player in the community and pushing my new focus toward finishing Project Moon. It is now my top priority. I hope to see you all around the server, but until then, peace out.